What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Liverpool versus Manchester United podcast. And yes, today will be about Liverpool. All right. And let me tell you, I couldn't be more excited as a fan, as a soccer fan in general, not only just Liverpool, but man, it is an exciting time to be a fan, let me tell you. So, sorry, Manchester United supporters. Today's not going to be about you. So, let's talk Liverpool. So, first off, let's get into what the world is talking about as far as this final goes. So, we got Liverpool are the neutral favorites. I mean, can we blame everyone? I mean, Madrid have won it last two seasons. They're going for a third. So, I can't really blame anyone for supporting Liverpool. I mean, you'd want the underdog to win anyway, right? I mean, if you like sports, you're always rooting for the underdog. So, I mean, it just makes sense. I think some of the Barcelona players were getting interviewed the other day, and I think it was Andres Iniesta asked about who he wanted to win the final, and of course he said Liverpool. I mean, every Barcelona supporter is probably going to want Liverpool to win, unless you're batshit crazy. But you know, that's neither here nor there. So I'm pumped, and Liverpool players actually left today and arrived in Kiev, I think today, so 2 days before the actual game, which I'm a supporter of. I think that's a great idea. Get yourself acclimated to the area. Have a feel. Don't really like warm up. Get a good rest in. And that's another big thing that was a problem for us in the Champions League was, after a league game on the weekend, traveling, let's say we'd have a practice Sunday or maybe a day off Sunday, and then we'd travel on a Tuesday after a training session Monday, maybe a light session, and then we would travel and get there, and then we'd have to adjust maybe the time difference. I mean, it can throw you off. So I mean, it's good. I think it's good that we left there Thursday, and we're there. And if you saw the boys, if you saw some of the pictures of the boys, man, they're looking good. They have like this maroon like uniform, like warm up on. I mean, man, I think the boys are ready. I think they're going to do it. I'm not going to say they're going to win it, but man, they look like they could pull it off. So, and another thing, so Liverpool recently had a media day at Anfield, and I want to talk a little bit about that. So, I know Salah and Lovren had a very good like banter because if you've been following the club, they're like coffee mates, right? So they both love coffee. They both, I think, get it together before each training session. And if you haven't watched the video, highly recommend it. I mean, it's just really good banter. I mean, you want that. It's been in comedies for years. It's just like the small, short, like awkward guy, and then the big bodyguard. Like if you saw that movie with The Rock and Kevin Hart recently, it's the name is slipping my mind right now, but it's kind of like that. So it's good stuff. It's about an 8 or 9 minute video. Highly suggest going and watching it. Um, Also had some clips from the training sessions. And I think I was watching on the Redman TV. Shout out Redman TV. If they ever listen to this, probably not. But anyways, moving on. The training up close, they look so much better. They look so relaxed, and I'm really happy that they look relaxed. You don't want a team looking nervous or in press conferences giving like scared answers, like we're going to do the best we can. They're very confident. And I think going into a game like this against one of the best sides on planet Earth, you need to be absolutely confident in your game, not coping with their game, but attacking, pressing football. And that's what Liverpool have done good all season. So I'm pumped to see what's going on. Trying to think of other videos I've watched. The Lovren Mane interview, the press conference was good. Um, and then Klopp did an interview, about a 9 minute interview, where he goes through each player, each starting lineup player, actually each player on the team, talks about their strengths, weaknesses, what he thinks of them, their potential. It's actually really cool. And if you really like the club, if you really have a certain player that you like, it's really going to be good to hear the manager talk good about his players. I mean, it just kind of warms your heart. It really gives you like a sense of just confidence about what the club's doing. And everything about the club right now is just exciting me, especially the coach. I mean, Klopp has just done an amazing job this season. So, moving on to the next thing, you know, personally, what am I thinking about the final? Okay. So, like I said, I'm glad they landed 2 days early. Um, like I said, that gives you time to get acclimated to the area, get a good training session and prep for the game and not worry about travel and have that stress over you. So you can de stress before the game, prepare mentally and physically, and man, just start. I mean, building that morale. I mean, the team clearly already has that morale, but I mean, when you're in another country, you really have to get down to the nitty gritty, and I'm sure it's going to be a nerve wracking 24 hours leading up to the game, but they're prepared for it. They got the perfect coach. Klopp's doing what he's got to do. I mean, and I think what's interesting about this whole ordeal is that right now it doesn't even feel like a final. Like, I don't know, like the game against, for example, the game against Manchester City, the two legs in the Champions League. Going into that game, I was nervous, and I think I was nervous because, one, as a Liverpool fan, I didn't want to lose to an English side in the Premier League and go on to see them win the Champions League, even though we beat them in the league, um, the second game at Anfield. I just there was something about me. I just did not want to lose to Man City. I hate Man City with a passion. And if you're a Man City fan listening to this, I don't know why you're listening to this. You shouldn't be listening to this, but welcome. And I hate y'all. Okay, so sorry about it. Anyways, I just didn't want to lose to Man City at all. And but now it's like we've made it. We made it to the final, right? But is that necessarily confirmation that we're a good side? I feel like if we lose the final, it's not. Yeah, it'll be a successful season, but I just feel like on a different scale, on a fan scale, on a national scale, on a global scale, we're going to be seen as a team that hasn't been verified yet, that hasn't had that validation of they're a top class team. And not only is it because, I mean, we're finishing top four 2 years in a row. Yeah, that's fine. But we should be doing that regardless. We need this win. And not only, it's not to say we're not a bad side if we're not a good side if we lose it, because we're absolutely a great side no matter what. I mean, no one can argue that. We're one of the best sides in Europe, especially this season. But a loss to Madrid won't be seen as a negative thing for the team as far as progression goes. It would almost be expected because, like I said earlier, we're the underdogs. But I think winning this game is that step back into greatness that we had. You hear the old time, late 70s, early 80s Liverpool, you know, early 2000s Liverpool, '05 final winning it, and then '07 losing. But I mean, we were still in the final. We need validation from the world, or at least as a fan, that's how I see it. Like when my team wins, then everyone sees that club as, ooh, they're a big club, big time club now. And I feel like nowadays everyone just looks at the Madrids, the Barcelonas, the Juventus, the Bayern Munich, and they all see those clubs as the big clubs. I mean, even City now is getting up there. United will always be there. And Liverpool, people see Liverpool as a big club, but not like a dominant force. And I feel like winning against Madrid this year with Ronaldo, with the lineup they have, I mean, they have such quality. It will validify. It will validate that. And I think that's what we need to do. We just need to go out, play our football, and we're going to get it done. And I'm excited. Can't wait. 2:45 kickoff here in the States, and couldn't be more pumped. And I couldn't be happier for the guys. They earned it. They worked so hard this season. And moving on now, let's get into some transfer rumors that have been going around. And let me just say off the cuff, I'm not a huge believer in these in transfer rumors. I mean, God, every other day there's a new transfer rumor, and sometimes you'll hear like a transfer rumor has been carried out for months and months, and then it finally gets done, like Virgil van Dijk, for example. Salah, I really didn't even see until he was signed any like links between him. Now that may just be me not doing my research, but I mean with Mane, I saw the links. Um, when we signed Firmino, maybe like a week beforehand, I saw the links, but it wasn't like 6 months ahead of time, a year ahead of time. There are some podcasts I'm listening to where saying like we've been linked with Nabil Fekir for a year, and that Olympia or Leon didn't want to sell him to us last season, but I don't know. I don't know. I just sometimes the ones that are dragged out aren't the ones that happen. Andy Robertson's another one that was dragged out that I found that I recognized, but Genie Wijnaldum, kind of like a quick done deal. Um, who else we got in there? Um, Trying to think off the top of my head now. Matip was like we got him on a free. That was easy. But anyways, I'm going into the transfer rumors. The latest ones we got is Jamal Lascelles. I'm not sure how you say it. He's a Newcastle United center back. He's been there since 2014. I think he originally started off in Stevenage, lower side in England, and then he was loaned. He was loaned to Nottingham Forest, or I could have that backwards. He could have signed for Nottingham Forest and loaned to Stevenage. I think that's may have been what it was. And then he was back at Nottingham Forest, made the transfer to Newcastle United, went back on loan to Nottingham Forest, and for maybe the 14-15 season, and he's worked his way into being a great day in, day out defender for the club. I mean, Rafa Benitez has got to love him. Got to love the guy. To be honest, I haven't seen too much of him play, but what I can say is that he reminds me in the air a lot of Van Dijk. I mean, Van Dijk wins every single ball. I mean, and that's another thing. Side note, Van Dijk has made me feel so much more confident at the back compared to Matip and Lovren how they ever did. And to be honest, I would be more confident if, well, no, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to be ripped apart. But with Van Dijk at the back, I feel very confident in the team. And if we could get another defender in, perhaps like Lascelles, who knows? He's young. He's only 24, I believe. And that's Van Dijk's 25 or 26. And then I think if you look at Matt Tip maybe 27 or 28. Lovren's 28 or 29. Clavin's like 31, 32. I mean, our defenders are getting old. Or, I mean, not old. Most of them are in their prime, exiting their prime. Um, Van Dijk's entering his prime, in my opinion. But looking at Lovren departing and then Clavin, I mean, Lovren will be good for a season or two, and then he'll have a drop off. But we need to start getting in young guys into the side. There's been talk of Gomez going from the right back to the center back, and with Klein coming back healthy now, and with the season Trent Alexander-Arnold has had, I mean, I don't see him accepting a third string right back, nor do I think he wants to play there. Nor do I think he's good there. I think he's a center back. I mean, he's had great performances at right back, and even when Brendan Rodgers brought him in, he played left back for like the preseason. But I think that he is a good center back for the future. So Gomez, he's young, he's like 21, and then we need Lascelles maybe comes in, or this other guy that we're looking at, James Tarkowski, English center back. They're both English, by the way. James Tarkowski from Burnley, 25 years old. So again, right at that age where they're entering their prime. Who knows? I need to do more scouting on them, but these are the guys that we're looking at right now. But going back to Lascelles, the big issue right now is that he wants to play day in and day out. And now that he has a staple, I mean, he's captaining the Newcastle United side. I'm not sure about Tarkowski captaining Burnley. However, Lascelles, I don't know how you pronounce it. He said he wants to play in and day out. He doesn't want to be a second choice to Van Dijk or Lovren or whoever is going to be in that starting position next season. And I don't blame him. I mean, if you're a top center back, I mean, Why would you want to be? And I mean, from what I hear, he's excellent. He's an excellent defender. Um, but the age thing is kind of what I want to get into. Is you look at the age differences between the center backs, and I was talking about it a little, but defenders aren't like attackers. Defenders can play well into their 30s, okay? And if you look at Milner, even midfielders, some of them can play. But if you look at attackers, if you look at Gerrard, for example, earlier in his career, he was more of an attacking forward, not forward necessarily, but attacking midfielder, you know. And towards the end of his career, he was playing deeper. I think like center defensive mid maybe. Um, but as an attacker gets older, and if they lose speed or agility or their dribbling ability, they may move back to the field. They may move back into a more defensive position. So, but if you look at a defender as they get old, they actually almost seem to get better, like better with age. Like you look at Sergio Ramos, he's getting older, but I mean, he's still amazing. And it just, I think defending comes with experience, whereas attacking, you have to consistently be on your game, consistently be working on your agility, speed, quickness, lateral quickness. I mean, that's what attacking is all about, is being able to beat your defender. Whereas a defender, you're worried about what your guy in front of you is doing. Which way is he going? Is he learning the game, learning what tendencies are? Keeping your vertical, being able to read the game. Um, and that all comes from experience. I mean, of course, you can practice that, but the strength that you build over time, good clearances, I mean, you don't need that. You need quickness. You need good judgment on defense. It's, in my opinion, defense is more mental, all right? And then, of course, there's the physical aspect, but not physical as in um, necessarily being the quickest or the fastest or anything like that. But if you're strong, which most defenders are, they're bigger guys, as long as you maintain that aspect, the mental aspect is what keeps you going and gets better with age. And I think that is probably the most important part of being a defender. So, to kind of come full circle here, defenders, in my opinion, may get better with age depending on the experience they have. So I'm looking at Lovren. Every year he's been with us, he's gotten a little bit better. He's had shitty moments in all seasons with us, don't get me wrong. But it seems like now he's coming into his own, okay? And he's like 20, he's got to be like 27, 28, 29, something like that. But Van Dijk, man, this guy, if he stays with Liverpool, he's going to be a legend at this club. I mean, he is fantastic. And he's right at that age that a defender should be 25, 26. I mean, 6'4, 250, 220, whatever the guy is. I mean, he's a monster. And he's quick with his feet, and he can dribble and pass the ball. That's just an extra attribute that a defender has. That's even better. That our defender has. That's even better. Lovren, he's okay with his feet, but you're not going to see Lovren making runs forward like Van Dijk or Matip even at times. Matip is good with his feet as well. But planning for the future, that's Klopp's thing. That's coming full circle. You're looking at these 24, these 25-year-olds, bringing in young, raw talent. Guys that are on lower end side. Well, actually, Burnley finished 7th this year, so I can't really talk about lower end sides. But Newcastle, I think they finished like 13th or something, or I don't know. Could have that wrong. 12th, 13th. These teams aren't necessarily looking to offload these guys, but these guys, having had good seasons, getting into Premier League first team football, are looking to advance their careers. Now, going back to the Lascelles thing, does he want to come and be a project under Klopp to where, maybe when Lovren's on his way down or Klavan's out or whatever, that he steps in and he's that choice, that first choice center back? Who knows? Tarkowski, who knows? He's a little bit older. Lascelles is 24, I believe. So looking at it that way, I think that it's a project. He's looking at these guys for maybe the next few seasons, getting them prepared, or maybe just a season, and then throwing them in the fire, which is fine. I think that's what he should be doing, investing in the youth now, And you saw it throughout. I mean, if you look at what he did, his first signing, I think, was Grujic. And 20-year-old, 19 or 20 at the time. I think that was his first signing. Um, and brought him in, and that's a future project. And he's been doing amazing at Cardiff from what I've been hearing and reading. Excellent, excellent at Cardiff. They love him. So that's a future one. But you look at the present, bringing in Mane in his prime, bringing it or on the rise to his prime. Salah, prime. You look at Van Dijk, prime, not a project. So he was filling in holes there. Wijnaldum, prime, world class. Trying to think of some other players that he. Robertson, young, but he's on the come up. Okay. What else? What else? What else? I'm trying to think of some other guys he brought in. That's it for current guys. But now he's looking to put some youth in his squad. You know, Grujic was the youth, but oh, Oxley Chamberlain, another guy right there. He's looking to bring in young, talented guys that are either right at the cusp of entering their prime or maybe just need a year or two fermentation, marination just to get into the first team. And I think he's doing all the right things. I really do. I mean, I couldn't be more excited. It's a great time to be a Liverpool fan right now. But looking towards the game, to sum it up, I hope we win. And I hope that it's a good showing for Liverpool, not a lucky win. I want to win like we've played against top sides. Like when we played City, when we played Porto away. Good Lord, that was probably one of the best performances I've seen from Liverpool. I mean, they just came out and the entire game, they were just guns blazing, fast counterattack. Porto had no clue what to do with us. They made them look like they were playing a high school soccer team, a public soccer team at that. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. And I loved it, every second of it.